Hi, everybody. Welcome to Art2Heart. And we have a really special episode today because I have the honor and the joy of interviewing Larry Armstrong, who is one of our top 60 masters, master artist, architect, creative mind. So many things that I can say about him. But I'm going to let Larry to be the one to speak about himself. Larry, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being here. Great to see you
Yes.
again. So I've been doing a lot of travel,
Yes.
both business and vacation. So excited to be in New York. We have a big meeting here today, and I've been creating on the weekends in my studio, and excited about some of my new pieces of art.
Okay. Can you tell us about those new works?
Yeah, so I always work in layers, right, as
Yes.
you know. And it's the whole concept behind layered vision, which is sort of behind my whole portfolio. And I had been creating these layered metal pieces, and which I'm still creating and showing, and I'm excited about those. But I just started a sort of a new series of this layered paint on panel that I'm excited to explore. And I've done a couple pieces. I'm going to do now some large pieces that hopefully we can show in the gallery and see
Yes.
what people think. But I'm excited about those.
I know you've always worked in layers. Can you share with those who are watching us for and watching you for the first time about layer vision?
Yeah, so my concept behind layered vision is that I perceive the world in layers all the time. And because I'm an architect, the obvious would be physical layers of construction and the physical environment, whether it's built or the natural. But it's also layers in emotion. And if you're in a room with people and the different emotions that people are feeling in a room, or if you're out on the street and the different layers of noise or sounds that you hear, people talking, or if you're in nature, animal, bird noises, or you're here in New York and all the street noise and the
Yeah.
different layers of people and vehicles and all of it. And so layers manifest in many different ways, layers of light in a space or out in nature. And so I try to express those layers in my work, and it's very abstract. It's not literal in any way, but it's always based on sort of an ambiance or a feeling, that I'm feeling at any given time that creates the work. So that's kind of the idea, the concept. It's sort of a conceptual idea
Yeah.
that I think I've got a long way to go in exploring this idea.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
enjoy a lot your layer sculptures because you're playing a lot with light and color. Can you tell us about it? Because some of them they are portraits.
Yeah, so some of these are layered glass portraits. They're very abstract. They're based on a photograph. And so I kind of extrude the geometry off a person's face and upper torso, and I try to express the geometry in these pieces of layered glass that form this sculptural portrait. And I've really enjoyed creating those and seeing how they manifest. I think you can light them in a certain way and they glow, and you look at them from different angles and that you perceive it a little differently. And so I love those. I've gotten a lot of great feedback on those.
Yeah. I can imagine.
They take a long time to make.
So tell us about your creative process in your studio.
Usually I think of an idea, it just comes to me. I call it flashes of light. And I could be normally it's, like anything when you're getting inspired, you're not, I'm not at work in the middle of something. I'm chilled out, or I'm,
Yeah.
just doing whatever I'm doing. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm inspired. And so I try to sketch the idea in my sketchbook first and flesh it out and make notes. And then so I go into the studio, and many times the pieces are a construct between sort of orthogonal, rigid line work, and where I'm masking and painting, and it's very precise. And then other times I'm throwing paint, out of a squeeze bottle, and I think that kind of dynamic of that layer of the different expression of the paint is part of what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
with the layered vision.
Yeah. So the actual creative process also, you experiment also the same concept of layers.
Yeah, I've experimented in a lot of different ways based on, the different types of work I've created. Whether I'm drawing with my finger on my iPhone and creating a piece, or spending several months with cut glass trying to create these portraits, or the layered canvases or the layered metal pieces with the moving multiple frames, where in that case the piece on the layered canvases and the layered metal pieces in particular, the piece transcends the frame, and so the frame becomes part of the composition and
Yes.
part of the layering, but it doesn't contain the piece in the traditional sense.
Wow. I'd say the things that I enjoy when I look at your work, because you're an architect. So I
Yes.
would think your mind is very structured, but you're so free when it comes to creating your work, that's very strong, to find the actual piece is framed, but then you have splashes of colors over the frame itself, so it becomes part of the creation.
Yeah, and I think that when you see some of the pieces, you might say, well, yeah, it looks like maybe he's an architect because of the way they look. People have said that to me. And, I think that's probably natural. But I also think that, and I've said this a lot, but I think being an artist has helped me be a better architect. And, as an architect, I think it inspired me to be an artist. So there's that push
Yeah.
and pull and that influence across, the two type of professions that I think makes me better
Yes,
at both of them,
and I
both of
think
ideas.
we can see it in your work.
Thanks.
I can see, your work, the lines, the geometry, but the freedom of the artist is there. It's like absolutely
Yeah.
above and beyond. And I actually admire the fact that you're such a busy person,
Yeah, I'm busy.
but you always find the time to create, even if it's in your iPhone or your iPad.
Yeah, so I'm a big believer in not, in being so singular in focus. I think it really helps to develop your sort of whole brain thinking
Yes.
is how I like to
Yes.
think about it. I'm heavily influenced by, Leonardo da Vinci, and, I really try to develop different skill sets. Running a company, I have to be pretty good at understanding, numbers,
Yes.
financial information. As an architect, you're trained with technical and creative skill. But when you're an artist, you're a little more, it's more freeing to be
Yes.
more creative. There's not so many constraints. And so I think that, you put all that together, and I think it creates so much opportunity, I think, to just continue to grow intellectually.
Yes, yes. Talk to us about your company. It's not just a company.
Well, my company, which I love, the name of the company is Ware Malcolm. We're an architectural and
Yeah.
interiors and civil engineering and branding firm, and we've grown a lot. We're based in Southern California, in Orange County, in Irvine, and but we've grown the company over the years, and now we have 22 offices.
Yeah.
Across North America and internationally. We have 3 offices that are outside the United States, and we do work in many places around the world. And we're very excited about our growth, and I think we're in the top 20 architectural firms in the United States and the top 30 in interior design firms in the United States. And we continue to grow, and we've had awesome people and awesome clients and great opportunities. And so we're excited to continue that
That's
growth.
amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
So, I wanted to share that because sometimes we find, or I hear, or, we find ourselves like we don't have enough time. I don't have time to paint, or I don't have time to create, but we can make it happen.
I think what I've learned is that it's all about choices and commitment in your life. You have to, if something's important to you, I think it becomes a choice to be effective at what you're doing and allowing yourself to have time
Yes.
to do the things you want to do, whether it's staying in shape or running your business or creating,
Yep.
being creative, or just, taking vacation.
Yes.
You have to, it means you have to kind of schedule yourself, I think, it takes a little bit of discipline, but I think it really helps me feel like I am very busy, but I don't feel stressed or I don't feel overwhelmed or anything like that,
But you're
I just
doing,
love what I do.
yeah, exactly.
You
I
have to
was
do
gonna
what you
say
love.
that.
I'm a
Exactly.
big believer in that.
You're doing something you love.
Yeah.
Either way,
You
whatever
have to
you're
do what
doing.
you love, and I'm a
Exactly.
huge believer in that. And so I love all these things that I'm doing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Is there anything that helps you, a secret that you want to reveal? Like, I don't know, meditation, any spiritual practice that kind of guides? It could
Well,
help a lot of people.
sure.
Me included.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think, however you find your faith in life, I think that's very helpful, obviously. It's always great to have an amazing partner. And so my wife, Sandy,
Oh, yes.
is amazing and awesome.
Yes,
And
yes.
you've met her, and
Yes,
she's awesome.
she is.
And so, having somebody to share highs and lows with, I guess, is, for me, very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with
Yeah,
totally. Yeah.
yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I want to ask you about the new works, the exploration of the colors that you're doing, because that's kind of new.
Yes,
That's kind of new.
it's very new. And it was an inspiration that, once again, just sort of came to me. And so what I'm doing is I'm experimenting with lots of colors, which I normally do, pretty unstructured on a panel. So it's a hard panel rather than a canvas. And I'm basically scraping, with not a very refined piece of wood, the paint. And
Okay.
so
Okay.
if you don't have these pictures, I'll send them to you. But I've done a couple of experiments, and I'm excited to make some bigger pieces. And so, because the paint responds in a very ununiform way, and it's
Right.
pretty cool. And so, and once you layer, let it dry and layer another, some more paint on top in different ways, it just becomes to me, once again, very layered, very rich, and you don't quite know where it's going to go. And the result, I've been very excited by. So I hope you like them, and I'm going to explore this idea
All
some
right.
more.
Exciting.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah, I want to see them in the gallery hung up, these pieces.
Yes. That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything that you would like to share before we go?
Well, I just appreciate all the work we've done together.
Yeah.
I really want to thank you for that, and I'm looking forward to working together in the future
Yes.
some more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. For us, it's a joy, an honor. You're one of those artists that I admire because of your commitment, your dedication. You're so busy that you really make this happen, and I think it sets not only an example, but it really sets a discipline, to look up to,
Thanks.
especially the younger generations that we'll get in touch with, and choices, like you said.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's your message, making the right choices
I think so.
and commitment.
I think so. You have to be committed to what you're doing.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Thanks so much,
Okay.
Larry. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Viviana. Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for watching. And don't forget, make the right choices. And don't forget, stay inspired.